So welcome everyone. My name is Ryan, and I would be presenting about research. I am a neuroscientist. I have my degree in Columbia University as a cognitive psychology. So I studied about human brains and human behavior. I will be sharing some of my insights. I will be sharing some of research aspects, in particular to the basics, to applicational and practical. All right, guys, you recognize these people? They know how to celebrate the success, but this is specifically coming from Steve Jobs. Oh, no, sorry, Bill Gates. It's fine to celebrate success, but it is more important to heed the lessons of failure. I would like to start with a lesson of failure, guys, because I know that you guys are all here for a research, assuming scientific research. As a matter of fact, I do want to emphasize everything, and including research, one of the greatest things that I value, and I hope that everyone can value, is failure. Now, research is based on failure. All scientific progress, as a matter of fact, is based on failure. Now, if you think a research is necessarily to invent something, if you think research is necessarily to find something that doesn't exist, or to make or to modify something towards one to another, I say that's not the proper first step. You're gonna have to really acknowledge why we research, what we research, and how we research. One of the biggest research association that I know that everyone knows, for example, CDC. I'm pretty sure everyone heard of CDC, especially in this COVID situation, right? We see a lot of research. Okay, now we're having this X amount of people infected in this virus. What are we going to do? What are the protocols? What are the phase 1 opening, phase 2 opening, phase 3 opening in San Francisco? And how do we execute this decision? Let's dig in a little bit of what they do and how research works. Now, in order to do that, we need to learn about the specifics. I'm going to start with the quantitative research. Now, quantitative research has surveys. Quantitative research has experiments, observations. Now, quantitative research surveys are a list of closed or multiple choice questions that is distributed to a sample. Now, when I say sample, it can be an online, it can be an in-person, or it can be over the phone. Any kinds of samples. So accumulation of sample can be a survey. Experiments. Now, situation which variables are controlled and manipulated to establish a cause and effect relationships. Now, this is a very important term, guys. In quantitative research, experiment must have variables controlled and an end result of a cause and effect relationship. Also, there's a qualitative research. Now, in a qualitative research, it's more of expression in words, a conceptual to dig in more. So how do we make qualitative research? Qualitative research are molded with interviews. Now, interviews, as it's very self-explanatory, as asking open-ended questions verbally to respondents. Now, the key term here in the interview is our open-ended questions. So the fundamental difference between the quantitative research and the qualitative research is the fact that we do not go through a survey. We ask them open-ended questions. Open-ended questions can be, how are you? What do you like? What do you think love is? What do you like about it? Do you like this food? These are the examples of open-ended questions. We have to have a focus group in the quantitative research. Now, the focus group is a discussion among a group of people about a topic to gather opinions. that can be used for further research. I would host an open discussion for you guys, and we call this focus grouping observations in qualitative research. Now, this is methods of survey. Now, if you want to conduct a research, you need to come up with data. And to accumulate data, you need to have a method towards how you're going to get data. Do you want questionnaires? Are you going to conduct interviews, or are you going to use different documents? You need to know the purpose and what's good about it, why we're going to use this, and why we're not going to use this. So questionnaires are to get something in a large size in a short period of time. So after we see what method we're going to conduct our research, now we have to go to case studies. So these are different type of case studies. And let me explain one by one. So collective case studies are those involve studying a group of individuals. So researchers might study a group of people in a certain setting, or look at the entire community of people. So we have a collective. There's a descriptive case study. Now, descriptive case study is, we start with a descriptive theory. So the subjects are then observed, and the information gathered is compared to the pre-existing theory. So is this right? Is this wrong? We test it again. Next case is explanatory case. So we use explanatory to do casual investigation. In other words, researchers are interested in looking at factors that may have actually caused certain things to occur. Cause and effect. We focus on the cause. Maybe if we modify the cause, we might modify the effect. Maybe we can come up with something new. That's the explanatory. Now, exploratory, or we use as a prelude for further, more in-depth research. Now, this allows researchers to gather more information before developing their research questions and hypotheses. Instrumental case studies occurs when the individual or group allows researchers to understand more than what is initially obvious to observers. And intrinsic case studies, personal favorite. So this type of case study is when researchers has a personal interest in the case. And from my experience, guys, I think science and research is really a high stakes. What you're trying to do is a very high stakes. No, as I mentioned, we are supposed to fail. And every one of you guys, I want you guys to fail. A consistent and consequential failure of an experience. Rejection, much more, does happen in life, then we succeed. I really want to find a definition what research means to you. For me, it means, as I mentioned earlier in the title, it's an accumulation of failure, an acceptance and a study upon a failure. And this has molded a philosophy and a perception of a mind for myself. And this is my motivation to keep my research for the future. I hope that you guys can find your definition and really can answer this question. What does research mean to you? And I hope this experience could help you. And after your experience in research can help you. If you could not find this, maybe a series and a consequential. And I hope this can be your experience in research.